Now, when I gave you guys a tour of the Leaf just a couple months ago, the redesigned Nissan Leaf blew me away with its appearance, its packaging, its features. There's just one thing Nissan needed to do to make sure the new Leaf would be a success. And I haven't driven it yet, but I will be soon. So stay tuned. I will drive it. I don't think I can tell you when I'm driving it or when I can share that information. It'll just be soon. But what I'm blown away with is that the thing I was waiting for the most, and Nissan asked me, they're like, hey, where do you think this needs to be priced at for it to be successful? I'm like, if you guys can price this under $30,000 with the big battery pack, then you will have a hit on your hands. It's going to bring so many new people into their first electric vehicle that we've never seen before. And that's something that the market's struggling with EVs, is affordability. EV tax credit's now dying. This won't need the EV tax credit in many situations. Let me show you. Here we have the official pricing. It's starting $10 under $30,000, so $29,990 for a Nissan Leaf. Look at this. Look at this flex. Third generation Leaf delivers unsurpassed value for money with lower starting MSRP than the original 2011 model. Let that sink in. In 2011, we didn't have the inflation we have now. We didn't have this is all pre-pandemic, right? This seems like, honestly, a lifetime ago, 2011. I was still in college. Like, when that Leaf came out, it was cool, but people weren't flocking out. I think we're going to see not only EV lovers come in. This is essentially the Tesla, the base Tesla that Tesla fans have been asking for, but Tesla was not giving it to them. Now we have a $30,000 crossover. Now it doesn't have all-wheel drive. That is maybe its only thing detracting it, but it's built to a price. And this price is a hit. This is a home run. I said, Nissan, you need to price this between $30,000 and $40,000. Price it at about $30,000. Even without the EV tax credit, it'll be successful, and I bet it will be. Time will tell, though. This is built in Japan. It is going to have a 15% tariff slapped on it, but that's all behind the scenes. You don't have to worry about that. This is, even though it's built in Tochigi, this is coming to America under $30,000 for the S Plus grade. Now, there's also a base S grade, a non-plus with a smaller battery pack. That will have to be priced less. Now, that's not available at launch, I don't believe. That's why they're not talking about it here in this press release. 15 years ago, when the 2011 came out, it was over almost $33,000. The SV grade is $34,000, and the SV Plus, undercutting the 25 Leaf SV Plus by nearly $2,000. You got to keep in mind the last year's Nissan Leaf had the EV tax credit. You might be saying, no, it didn't, but it did if you leased it. Now this is an EV that I would consider actually financing. This would actually be the perfect vehicle for me to replace my aging Prius with. Do I need to replace my 2012 Prius? No, I don't. It still would be an excellent, it's essentially, and how I think of it is a fully electric Prius, how this thing has evolved, the Leaf. It's very attractive, has lift-back functionality. It's going to go fast. 215 horsepower, if I remember right. Okay, and so the S Plus gives you 303 miles of range, and you have NACS, so you can plug it in a Tesla supercharger, and it's going to be plug and charge. You won't have to whip out your phone, assuming you get it all set up, but you still could do it through the phone. You have dual 12-inch screens on the base S grades, and then you have a 14-inch screen on the SV and Platinum Plus grades. So here we go. Here's a Platinum Plus, and this is under $40,000. Guys, when I sat in the Leaf Platinum, it was luxury grade. And I just got out of a Nissan that was luxury grade on the inside, and that was the Murano. The problem with the Murano is that it was priced at $54,000 in the Platinum Plus, or the Platinum grade. There's no Platinum Plus on it, but you know what I mean. The biggest problem with the Murano wasn't that I didn't want to pay $54K on a Murano. It's that even though it nailed NVH, it was quiet, silent, smooth, handled great, and its interior was luxury grade, in my opinion. Massaging seats, semi-align leather, great tech, really pleasing interior. The problem was its powertrain. 240 horsepower on paper sounds great, and when you mash the gas, it does accelerate quite well. The problem was the complete neutering of that transmission due to emissions regulations or CAFE regulations or whatever it was. The Nissan Murano doesn't drive right. It upshifts too fast. The power never seems available to you unless you're just pedal down all the time. It's not the Murano's fault. It's emissions regulations' fault. It's kind of Nissan's fault for not having enough hybrids or any hybrids in the market so that their gas models are not completely terrorizing to drive. This Leaf has no transmission logic to worry about. When you put your pedal down, that full electric torque and horsepower is going to give it to you immediately and you're off. This, without hesitation, I would save a ton of money and buy this over Murano. You might be saying, Kirk, the Murano is a bigger vehicle and it has all-wheel drive. I don't care. This vehicle, when I sat on it, was plenty roomy to me. Plenty of configuration, meaning I can fold the seats down, plenty of cargo. It looks better than the Murano. The Nissan Leaf has just done what I thought Nissan needed to do in order for it to be successful, and they've nailed the pricing. SV Plus under $35K. If you guys want to go back to the spec sheet here, this has the 75 kilowatt hour battery. We have 214 horsepower and 261 pound-feet of torque, a 7 kilowatt AC charger on one side. The opposite side charges at 10 to 80% in 35 minutes. So it's not, and that's okay. It doesn't need to charge that fast. This is in a city EV. Most EVs should be driven in around 99% of the time as a city vehicle. You also have vehicle to load. As long as you have the adapter, 1500 watts vehicle to load. That's something that the $71,000 ID Buzz did not have, vehicle to load. And apparently has an AC power plug underneath the passive front passenger seat. Tilting and telescopic steering wheel. Tailor fit. This is the new synthetic leather. And there is a nicer synthetic leather on the Platinum and maybe the SV Plus. I'm trying to remember. But the tailor fit is going to be quite nice. And I thought that there was cloth seats on the S and S Plus, which there might be, even though they're calling this tailor fit. So I don't quote me on that. I might have to rewatch my video. Keep in mind the base S Plus and even the SV, they have a different rear taillights than the nicer Platinum Plus. And the Platinum Plus also has illuminated Nissan logo. It has a fancier light bar and stuff like that, if I remember right as well. If you want the power lift gate, which is completely unnecessary, you can get it in the Platinum Plus. Unlike GM's EVs, this doesn't lock you out of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Even though it has Google built in, you still have your wireless phone connectivity. That's a win. I want to revisit the interior of this. Of course, we're looking at the Platinum here, which has the bigger screens. These are the dual screens that we see on an Infiniti QX80, which costs $100,000. This steering wheel is actually the same steering wheel, different two-tone that I had in the Murano, which that is a $50,000+ vehicle. And I love the steering wheel in there. Now, am I a huge fan of the touch capacitive touch panel here that does move? No, but it's not a deal breaker. Nowhere close, okay? Heated steering wheel, head-up display, which is amazing. It's a really good head-up display. I'm assuming it's the same as the Muranos. I don't have auto folding mirrors, but I do have memory seats here on this model on the top grade. I have a 12-volt down below, a flat floor, which is real nice. And this, I believe, is also removable, this little cup holder tray. I think that is. All right, big volume knob. That's a win. Drive mode right there. Piano keys right here for the drive select. I'm okay with that. Now, this is similar to the Murano, but this does something better than the Murano because I have a dedicated heated seat button. The Murano did not have that. And I'm trying to remember if the Murano, I could go outside, I still have it. If the Murano had a heated steering wheel button. Heated seats, absolutely fantastic that I have a dedicated heated seat button. It's touch capacitive, but that's fine. Look at this. This is a better panel. This is a better panel than the Murano because the Murano's was kind of built into the wood like the Leaf, and it wasn't very responsive, and it was just kind of awkward. It looks pretty, but this is going to be better. This is going to work better, in my opinion. All right. Is it not as good as physical buttons or knobs? No, but it's better than what we have on the Murano and better than what we have on the Leaf. All right. And then you have, you still have software control over the automated heated seats and automated heated steering wheel. I mean, this vehicle's a win. I loved the interior overall. I loved the exterior overall. The Nissan Leaf might be one of, I have to drive it yet and I have to review it, but it might crack S tier of all the vehicles I reviewed so far in 2025. My hype for it is really, really high. No, if Nissan can bake in the ride quality of the Murano and the smooth and predictable driving that we have in the Aria, but in a more attractive, more efficient package, I cannot wait. And I can't wait to test it at home to see what kind of energy efficiency we can get out of a single motor Nissan Leaf. Okay, if we're at 75 kilowatt hours, let me get my calculator out. This is only for the S Plus grade. So 303 divided by 75, that's 4 miles per kilowatt hour, but that incorporates highway driving. And we know that the coefficient of drag here is like 0.26. There it is. I had to look it up, 0.26. But I think I'm getting a car swap right now. So I got to cut this video off. I'm putting this up as a nominee for S tier. I haven't driven it yet. I've toured it. I really like it, but I got to drive it yet. And so stay tuned in the next couple months for my driving impressions on the Nissan Leaf. And I think it's going to live up to my expectations. Well done, Nissan, and keep kicking butt. I just made a video on the Frontier Pro 4XR, co-developed with Roush. That thing's going to kick serious butt too and give it to the competition. This is the affordable EV that's going to start breaking down barriers of entry for electric vehicle buyers in the United States, and also bring ICE buyers into the Nissan brand, or should I say EV buyers that are traditional ICE buyers. They're going to go buy a Nissan Leaf because it's cute, it's affordable, and it's efficient, and it's fun to drive. What else do you want in a car? All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and peace.